Hello doctors, we've designed this cool animation to help you visualize the pressure forces inside the glomerulus and how they all work together to affect the glomerular filtration rate, the GFR. If you find this helpful, leave a like, subscribe and let us know in the comments what are medical physiology topics you'd love to see animated. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. Previously, we talked about the basic factors affecting the GFR. We said there are two major forces inside the glomerular capillaries. Hydrostatic pressure, which pushes water out of the capillaries and promotes filtration. And oncotic pressure, created by plasma proteins, which pulls water back and oppose filtration. Only about 20% of plasma entering the glomerulus actually gets filtered into the Bowman space. That's what we call the filtration fraction. Today, we will look into the pressures inside the Bowman space that also affects the GFR. Let's start with the Bowman's capsule hydrostatic pressure. This pressure opposes filtration. So the higher the pressure inside the Bowman space, the lower the GFR. To understand what can increase this pressure, we need to review the path of fluid flow through the nephron. Blood enters through the afferent arteriole, passes through the glomerulus, and the filtrate exits into the proximal convoluted tubules, then the loop of Henle, followed by the distal convoluted tubules, and there it gets scanned by the macula densa, and finally into the collecting ducts. All collecting ducts drain into the minor calyces, then the major calyces, then into the ureter, and finally out through the urinary tract. If there is a blockage anywhere in the urinary tract, like renal stone, filtrate cannot exit properly, which causes pressure to build up and push back all the way to the Bowman's capsule. This increased hydrostatic pressure reduces the glomerular filtration rate. Blood that is not filtered is drained by the efferent arteriole, then to the peritubular capillaries and back into the venous circulation. Now let's talk about another factor, venous obstruction. If there is something blocking venous return, fluid backs up in the capillaries and causes interstitial edema. That fluid buildup increases pressure around the tubules and eventually transmits that pressure back to the Bowman's capsule, again lowering the GFR. Now normally there should be zero oncotic pressure inside the Bowman's capsule because proteins are not supposed to be filtered. But if for any reason proteins leak into the Bowman space, they will pull water with them. This actually increases the GFR because now there is an additional pulling force inside the capsule. This leads to another point, increased permeability of the glomerular capillaries. If there is damage like from infection or inflammation, the filtration barrier becomes more permeable and proteins may start passing through into the Bowman's capsule, raising its oncotic pressure. A classic example is glomerulonephritis. It can cause massive leakage of proteins, initially increasing the GFR. But over time, as the body responds, it starts repairing the damage with fibrosis. Fibrosis reduces the surface area available for filtration, which then lowers the GFR. Speaking of surface area, if a kidney is surgically removed or damaged, total surface area available for filtration is reduced. Also, mesangial cells, the support cells inside the glomerulus, can contract or relax in response to various signals. When they contract, surface area for filtration decreases, GFR decreases. When they relax, surface area increases and GFR increases. Lastly, renal blood flow directly affects the GFR. More blood flow equals more filtration equals higher GFR, and less blood flow equals lower GFR. But here is the cool part. The kidney self-regulates this through a mechanism called Tubulo-Glomerular feedback. This involves the macula densa, which monitors sodium and chloride levels in the filtrate. If sodium and chloride are high, The macula densa signals the afferent arteriole to constrict, which lowers the GFR. If they are low, it causes afferent arteriolar dilation, which increases the GFR. And that brings us to the end of this video, and here's a question for you. Besides venous obstruction, what other conditions can reduce GFR by increasing interstitial pressure around tubules? Drop your answers below in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with your fellow med students. And we see you in the next video.